With Town Hall 16 getting 9 new building levels and maxed out walls, it's a great time to find a scenery that matches the theme. But hey, I know most of you aren't at Town Hall 16 yet. Don't worry, because this is a complete guide for which sceneries to get, using code Seth of course, no matter where you are in your class journey. Town Hall 4 is the first town hall where you're able to purchase sceneries. Town Halls 2 through 8 have pretty much the same theme, but the thing that sets them apart is the color of the walls. With Town Hall 4 having really dark walls and an orangish town hall, the Goblin Cave scenery is the perfect scenery for this because it's very dark, but there's a lot of orange and gold colors. The Dark Ages scenery is also a really solid option because it's also a dark scenery, but it has a lot of orange lights in it, which is a nice contrast, and they match with the orange theme of Town Hall 4. I think the Shadow scenery is the third best option. Again, dark scenery, and it has a lot of orange accents. Some runners up are the Space scenery and the Tiger Mountain scenery. The big change moving to Town Hall 5 is the gold theme. The walls are no longer dark, now they're a bright gold color. And the Summer scenery is the #1 scenery for Town Hall 5. It's pretty obvious, it's very gold, but the green grass is a nice contrast to the golden walls. The Egypt scenery is the second best scenery for Town Hall 5. With this scenery, there's actually literal gold all around the scenery. It's also nice that the tiles are a yellowish color but don't blend in with the golden walls. The Primal scenery is the third best scenery, also with a similar theme to Town Hall 5. And some runners up are the Royale scenery with some golden walls that look similar to Town Hall 5 walls, and the Goblin Cave scenery, which is a bit of a darker scenery but has a lot of gold in it. Town Hall 6's theme is primarily pink with all the walls, but there's also a gray theme with the storages and the defenses. The Epic Magic scenery was intended for Town Hall 15's theme, but this is just the perfect scenery for Town Hall 6. The pink crystals along the outside match the Town Hall 6 walls so perfectly. There's also a lot of white rocks, which are almost a gray/silver theme, which match with the buildings of Town Hall 6. The future scenery's purple/magenta color theme match Town Hall 6 so well, but I like this one a lot because the tiles aren't exactly pink, so they don't blend in with the walls. It's a nice contrast, but the rim around the outside of the scenery complements the pink walls really well. If you like darker sceneries, the Shadow scenery is a really nice one because it contrasts with the bright pink of the walls, but it also has some pink colors on the outside to complement the walls. The Epic Winter scenery is a runner-up as it has some pink highlights on the outside, and I thought the Painter scenery actually matched really well because it has some pink, but it's mostly just a splash of colors, and you can find most of those colors in the buildings and walls of Town Hall 6. Town Hall 7's theme is primarily a dark purple theme, also dark elixir theme, because this is when you get the king, dark elixir storage, and dark elixir drills. The future scenery is the most purple scenery we have, which matches really well with the Town Hall 7 theme. The Space scenery is the second best scenery. It has a dark elixir theme, along with the entire scenery being a really deep purple color. The Tiger Mountain scenery is the third best option as it has a lot of purple, and overall the theme is dark and it has a blue/purple color theme. Some runners up are the Shadow scenery, which is dark and has some purple colors along the outside, and the Epic Winter scenery, which has a lot of purple and dark colors around the outside. This one pops a little bit more because of all the white that contrasts with the dark walls of Town Hall 7. Town Hall 8 has black walls, and it also has a lot of purple and gold. Pretty much all the buildings are either gold plated or have a purple theme to them. And the Goblin Cave scenery is the best one to match Town Hall 8, and it's pretty obvious why. This one is pretty much all black and gold. It's also a dark themed scenery, which matches the dark theme of the Town Hall 8 walls. The Shadow scenery is the second best, with the dark tiles and the dark theme matching the black walls. This one will blend in with your Town Hall a little bit more. It also has purple, which matches those wizard towers, and there are a little bit of gold bits here and there. The Space scenery is going to be the third best scenery. This one is also really dark, which matches the walls. The whole scenery also has a bit of a purple hue and some purple highlights over on the right side, which match those purple wizard towers. Some runners up are the 9th Classiversary scenery, which is dark scenery around the edges and also has a lot of colors which match the colors of Town Hall 8, and the Ghost scenery is another dark scenery which matches pretty well with Town Hall 8. Town Hall 9 is another dark themed town hall. All the walls are a dark gray, but they also have some gold accents on them. So the main theme of Town Hall 9 is gold and gray. The Shadow scenery is going to be the #1 scenery for Town Hall 9. It's a a very dark scenery, probably one of the most dark sceneries, and it's got some lighter colors like this lava up here. There's gold in the top left, which complement that gold theme of Town Hall 9. Goblin Caves, this one's pretty obvious. It's the second best choice because it's a very dark scenery and it's got a ton of gold in it. The space scenery is the third best scenery, as this one is just a nice dark scenery that works pretty well with the theme of Town Hall 9. Some runners up are the 9th Classiversary scenery. Tiger Mountain is another solid option, a dark theme. The final runner up is the Dark Ages scenery, again a dark theme with a lot of light, which resembles the light gold on the dark Town Hall 9 walls. Next is Town Hall 10, and the theme of Town Hall 10 is orange, red, and brown. Primarily orange, especially when you zoom out, that's what pops out the most, but the walls have a brown color to them and there's a lot of red defenses and buildings. Where was the chest scenery the last time I made this video? Because this one looks like it was made for Town Hall 10. The tiles just fit so perfectly. They have the dark orange and the lighter orange, which match so well with the dark orange and the lighter colors on the buildings at Town Hall 10. And the environment around it also matches really well because everything has this orangish red hue to it. Also, pretty much the entire thing is made out of wood, which matches that brown theme of the walls. The gingerbread scenery is also a great scenery for Town Hall 10, the second best in my opinion. It's got a lot of brown, orange, and red, which fits so well with Town Hall 10, but I don't think anything is going to one up the chest scenery. The shadow scenery is really nice because it contrasts a lot more with Town Hall 10. So if you like more of a contrast rather than matching colors, shadow scenery is the way to go, but it's also got some lava around the edges, which match the lava theme of Town Hall 10. A runner-up is the jolly scenery. Now, the outside of the scenery doesn't match Town Hall 10 very well, although it does contrast nicely because it's more of a blue tint which contrasts with the orange tint of the town hall, but the tiles is the part that actually matches the theme. It's red, yellow, and orange tiles with some brown tiles where your buildings are going to be sitting. 10th Classiversary is really solid. This one I think matches Town Hall 10 because there is some contrast with that green on the orange, but then at the top there's a ton of orange and brown, which is really what's going to match the Town Hall 10 theme. Clash Fest is really solid because I would say the majority of the colors around this scenery are brown, red, and orange. And the Magic Theater scenery has a lot of red and yellow all around it. The most prominent part of the Town Hall 11 design is the white, but it also has some orange, red, and yellow accents to it. The gingerbread scenery is going to be the #1 scenery for Town Hall 11. Look at these tiles, because I think it's the only white/brown tiles we have, because it's like cookie dough sprinkled with either powdered sugar or flour. Around the edges there's so much orange, white, and yellow colors which match those colors of Town Hall 11. Another great one is the Epic Jungle scenery, which is primarily white but again has those gold and yellow themes which match the accent colors of Town Hall 11. This one is the second best in my opinion. And the Royale scenery, similar to the Epic Jungle, it has green tiles which don't match the colors of Town Hall 11, but around the edges is where you'll find those matching colors: red, gold, and a little bit of orange. The Egypt scenery is a runner-up, as this one has these light colored sand tiles which match the white walls of Town Hall 11. It also has a lot of gold and a little bit of red on the outside of the scenery. 10th Classiversary is the second runner-up. Now this one has a lot of white and gray stone on the outside which match the Town Hall 11 walls, but there's also orange and some red and yellow sprinkled around the scenery. The theme of Town Hall 12 is primarily blue and silver with quite a bit of gold accents. And by the way, if you're finding this video helpful, remember that you can support me by using code Seth whenever you buy a skin or scenery in the shop. I couldn't make these videos without your support. The #1 scenery for Town Hall 12 is easily the Snow Day scenery. It's just so perfect with the heavily blue theme, but also with a lot of lighter colors that resemble the silver walls of Town Hall 12. It's also got light scattered around which match those gold accents you'll find on Town Hall 12 buildings. Epic Winter is the second best. It also has quite a big blue theme and a lot of snow, which are that lighter color which match the light part of the Town Hall 12 walls. This is the first mention of the Dragon Palace scenery, but I think this is also a really solid option. The third best option for Town Hall 12. This one has more of a teal theme, but still quite a bit of blue going on in this scenery. And a runner-up for Town Hall 12 is the Dark Ages scenery. These walls up in the top right match so well with Town Hall 12 because they're gray, sort of bluish, which match the blue and gray walls of Town Hall 12. There's also a big blue theme all around this scenery with some light stone walls which match Town Hall 12. Town Hall 13 is similar to Town Hall 12, but this one has a dark blue theme, like almost a dark elixir black color, along with the light blue and a bit of gold and purple on the buildings. The best scenery for Town Hall 13 is the Snow Day scenery. This one has a dominant blue theme which matches the blue of Town Hall 13. It also has some darker shades of blue in this one, which match the dark shades of the Town Hall 13 walls, and some lights around the edges, along with golden Christmas lights at the bottom, matching the golden accents on the buildings. Epic Winter is the second best, also a blue themed scenery. This one also has a lot of purple, which match the purple accents on Town Hall 13 and the really dark walls. And again, there's a little bit of gold around the edges, which matches some of the gold on Town Hall 13. The third best scenery is the space scenery, and the biggest thing about this scenery that matches Town Hall 13 is the dark purple of the entire scenery, matching the dark purple of Town Hall 13 walls and buildings. While the light blue of Town Hall 13 doesn't necessarily match anything in the scenery, it is a nice pop so that your village doesn't just blend into the dark scenery. There are a lot more sceneries that I thought matched okay with Town Hall 13, so one of the runner-ups is the Ghost scenery. The Dragon Palace scenery is another solid runner-up. Tiger Mountain looks pretty nice. It has a purple and blue theme all the way around it. This one is also a darker scenery if you like dark sceneries. Another one is Dark Ages, which also has a dark theme but also has a lot of blue colors in it. And the Future scenery is also a potential option. It's mostly purple, but it does have some blue colors, and this one sort of has a nice contrast to Town Hall 13. The biggest color of Town Hall 14 is gold, but it also has a lot of bright green and a hint of deep purple. I can't leave out Epic Jungle scenery, and I actually think it's the #1 scenery for Town Hall 14. It was actually made for Town Hall 14. This one's got a lot of gold, red, and green, the gold and green matching the main parts of Town Hall 14. The Egypt scenery is a really solid option because this one is a primarily gold and green theme. There's also a lot of jungle around the outside of it, which matches that jungle theme of Town Hall 14. The summer scenery is really nice because it has golden tiles which match the golden walls, but then the grass underneath the buildings, which are a bit controversial, but I mean, you have to admit, they match the green theme of Town Hall 14. There are also some runner-ups, one of them being the Goblin Cave scenery, which is pretty much fully green and gold. I've said it so many times, but it matches the green and gold of Town Hall 14. The Spooky scenery with its dominant green color matches the green and contrasts with the gold, and the Primal scenery with its orangish brown color matches the gold and contrasts with the green, with some green around the outside to complement it. Town Hall 15's theme is magic, with a purple and bluish teal theme, with some other slight colors like a dark gray, like almost black, and gold and red. It was extremely hard to pick a top 3 for Town Hall 15. I did come up with a top 2, but then I'm just gonna give a long list of other sceneries that match it. My #1 scenery is the Future scenery, matching perfectly with the purple and teal of the Town Hall 15 theme. I think this one is definitely the best option. The Space scenery is also really solid. This one's a darker scenery and contrasts a lot with the teal color of Town Hall 15, but it complements the dark purple and almost matches perfectly with those walls. The Epic Winter is a solid option. While the tiles don't match, the outsides of it do match really well. It pretty much has a blue and purple theme. Dragon Palace, the teal scenery, matches so well with the teal walls and teal buildings, and then there's a lot of purple colors around the scenery as well, which match the purple buildings and walls. Shadow scenery is really solid. There's actually some teal colors that match so perfectly, along with purple in the top right and the bottom left, which match those purple colors. This is another dark scenery with a blue and purple theme. I couldn't leave out the Epic Magic scenery because this one was actually made for Town Hall 15. If you want to lean into the magic theme, then definitely go with this one. The crystals around the outside are more pink than purple, but it also has some teal water or magical liquid of some kind that matches the teal of Town Hall 15. Dark Ages is another runner-up. This one is a mostly bluish scenery, but I just think this one matches really well. It's kind of subtle, but Town Hall 15 blends in really well with it. And finally, the theme of Town Hall 16 is white, orangish red, and gold with a green accented nature theme. And don't leave after this, stick around for the top 3 sceneries that you can buy to match the most town halls possible. But the #1 scenery for Town Hall 16 is the summer scenery. I just think the gold of this scenery matches matches so perfectly with Town Hall 16, and the walls are white and gold, which match really well with these walls down on the bottom left and some other white/yellow rocks around the edges. I also really like the green tiles underneath the buildings because they make your village pop off the yellow tiles, which would normally blend in without that green grass. The Egypt scenery tiles match perfectly with the walls, and the gold rim around the edge of the scenery along with the other gold elements of the scenery fit perfectly with those walls. I think this one fits really well. Unfortunately, Clash of Clans didn't release a dedicated scenery for the nature theme of Town Hall 16, but this one has a lot of shrubbery and vegetation, which can match with the little green hints of nature that Town Hall 16 has. Epic Jungle is actually really perfect for Town Hall 16, even though it was made for Town Hall 14. I mean, the Town Hall 16 theme is kind of similar to Town Hall 14, but this one's got the red, gold, and white, which match all the colors of Town Hall 13: red, gold, white, and green. I didn't mention green. All the tiles are green, and there's a lot of green around the edges of the Epic Jungle scenery. Maybe I put this one at number 3 because I'm not a fan of the scenery by itself, but it's actually perfect for Town Hall 16. Some runners up are the Primal scenery, which have a brown and sandy theme, which match the walls of Town Hall 16 really well, along with some green around the outside. The chest scenery is actually a really good match because the tiles of this one match really well with the red and white/yellow theme of Town Hall 16, along with everything around the edges. There's some green and red and all the colors of Town Hall 16. Now, most people won't want to buy a new scenery at each town hall, so here are the most common sceneries that you'll want to pick up in order to be the most efficient. The shadow scenery was mentioned the most in my list, and also if you like dark sceneries, this one is the perfect one to pick up. Number 2 is the space scenery. This was mentioned almost as many times as the shadow scenery and is also another dark scenery which matches with so many town halls. And the third best scenery out of my entire list is the Goblin Cave scenery.